Hey everyone, welcome to Healthy Mind by Avik. So today I thought I'll just share something about like how from zero to podcast network and how I, along with my team, built 17 plus shows alone. People often assume that I had a marketing team, a big budget, and like years of experience when I started my podcast network. But the truth is, like I had none of that. Like, no training in social media, no design skills, no clue about editing, just a story, a laptop, and a whole lot of stubbornness. So, today I want to share exactly like how I went from knowing nothing to building over 15 plus, exactly what is 17 podcast shows, which is listened to by thousands of people worldwide, all by started by myself and then joined my lovely co-hosts. And if you think you don't have what it takes, then this one is for you, dear listeners. So I didn't started with a kind of business plan. Like I started with a kind of pain. Like it was the middle of the pandemic, and trust me, like many of you, I was dealing with uncertainty, burnout, and the personal struggles. And like I began hosting small live conversations on LinkedIn. Not because like I knew that it was a great strategy, but because I needed the connection. Because I was alone, right? I was struggling with the loneliness. And those lives didn't have those fancy cameras like right now. Obviously, I managed to buy a 4K camera after so long time. But that time, I mean, I didn't have kind of fancy cameras or something. It's normally, the phone the cameras, everything. And with my laptop, the inbuilt camera. So the sound was not that much perfect, but people showed up and something clicked. Like stories have the power, which I always say. Like if I could help one person feel less alone, then it was worth it, right? And of course, like I had no idea, as I mentioned, how to turn that into a podcast. I never thought I would be a podcaster. Definitely never. So because I was into my job, the HR to tech job, I never ever thought that I'll be a podcaster. So I did what every stubborn dreamer does. I went to YouTube University. Yes. And I learned social media marketing, which is free of cost. Everyone does that, like by watching free tutorials at 2 a.m. in the night. Because trust me, like whole day I used to spend like what I'll do, what to do. Okay, I'm really not feeling well. I'll just go to the balcony. I'll see no one. So I figured out from there. I figured out like the graphic design, and I started doing like how to edit things. So that time Adobe had few things. Then later on, Canva came, and so I figured out like graphic design on Canva by making the terrible posts until they looked decent. So I learned website development as well by breaking my own site and then fixing it again. And it wasn't very glamorous, I would say. It wasn't instant, but each skill I learned became a brick in the foundation of what I was building. Right. So my first real podcast episode felt like a big deal, definitely. The editing took hours and hours because I had no idea like what I was doing. But when it went live, trust me, dear listeners, like I got my first listener, and that is also from another country. So I'll take the name of the country also. It's from Singapore. She was from Singapore. And I remember like thinking, wow, my voice just crossed the oceans. So that moment taught me two things, right? So like we always underestimate the reach of our voice, right? And you don't have to be perfect to make an impact. That is also very true. Like from there, I launched more shows, invited guests, and slowly built the systems and scheduling tools, templates, workflows, so I could handle more without burning out, right? So people ask, like, how do you manage so many shows? I mean, is it real also, or Is it true that one person you are managing everything? How it is done? So I'd love to answer this question to all of you that yes, I started alone. But yes, when I started expanding and started growing more shows, it was not only me, it was the whole team. It's a very small team of 5 members, and my friends joined and the co-host joins. So we are a team of 5 members right now. And the answer is I don't do everything at once. And I batch the content, I reuse the template, and I treat like each show like a conversation, not a production line. Because I guess if you're hearing this, or if you're watching this video, when I mean, whosoever you know, right? Like, and the best part is the guests. You will know that when I say that I do not have any set of questions. Yes, you have given me the uh, idea, the topic. Based on that, yes, I have done some research from the Google, from your profile. So what we will do is we'll keep it kind of a conversation rather than a kind of set of questions. Okay, question one, this, question two, this. No. So we'll keep it more conversation. And as I mentioned, not the production line. So the growth was not the magic. It came from showing up consistently, and even when only a few people were listening. Yes. So I remember, like, when first uh, I published the episode, it was like 5 or 6 listeners were there only. I mean, for a whole month. You imagine, right? So, and they taught me the resilience. I'll say they taught me the resilience. And when the audience grew, I was ready for it. Yeah. So if I could go back, here's what I did tell myself is don't wait to be ready. Start messy. Start with the small things and learn one skill at a time instead of everything at once. Also, like, relationship matters and more than algorithm. Definitely you should prioritize your relationship first. And the goal is not to go viral in just 5 or 10 days. It is to be valuable, I would say. So I built this network alone, along with my team, but I didn't do without people. Every guest, every listeners, every conversations, and my lovely team. So they are the part of the story. Yes. So if you have been holding back because you think that you are not qualified, then please remember this, that neither I was. Or I mean, you can definitely look out other podcasters or other people who have succeeded, or maybe they started in that growth phase. So I mean, it's very true. Like, your story, your perspective, your voice, they are enough just to start. Yeah. And also, like, why I made this, I'm making this video because I really love what I been mentioned. Like, so one of the guests yesterday, we were discussing about it, and then he mentioned me one thing which I really loved it. Like, he said, like, I was mentioning, like, I was trying to go to US and then was trying to be a part of some good podcasting network groups, and also that we can have a good connect and all. But somehow visa was getting rejected, and I don't know, like, so then he mentioned one thing, like, let's not think about that. Yes, it is a very good platform, but why not you start with some small groups there here itself? And I thought, like, yeah, it's a best idea. Like, when I start with the small groups, maybe slowly I get recognized, and I mean, maybe sometimes I get the opportunity to go to US and start connecting with some of the big podcasting networks. And definitely, I mean, I really love that. So from there, I love to mention this, that I mean, your story, your perspective, and your voice, they are very enough to start. And so I'd suggest, like, pick one step today, record your voice note, write a post, and reach out to one potential guest, and you will be amazed, like, what happens when you choose action over the perfection. And I'd say, like, if you have found this helpful, then please do share your views, what you think about it. Or maybe in your journey, have you come up with any kind of situations like this? Share with a friend, and let's keep building stories that matter. And also, I would love to invite all of you to look into our podcast network. So we have 17 podcast shows right now. each has a different theme, different set of listeners base. Globally, people are listening. And the main aim is at least if one life changes, because right now you can say it's a network, but I always call it kind of library, because whenever someone needs any help, or maybe you are in a situation where you think like, I don't know, like what I have to do, then that time just come to our podcast network, just type or listen to few of the shows. You will definitely get answers, because this podcast network, we have Healthy Mind by Avik, 17 podcast shows. We have more than 4,500 guests who has appeared already on the shows. So we have recorded 5,000 plus podcast shows, and those guests are the best. I would say the best. I would say, because you will definitely learn something from there. So just keep learning on. Come here, listen to it, and do share your views, your perspectives. I'd love to listen from you. And also, if you think like something to include, something to exclude in this whole podcast network, and whatever we are trying to make the life easy for needy people, just love to hear your perspectives. It will definitely help us grow further, connect further, and reach out to those people who are actually looking for help. So, with this hope, until next time, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you so much.